Bam! Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel and you are watching Miguel EDC. Today I got a very special video for you guys. Yes, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, and we are talking the 5 most EDC knives of last month, June 2023. EDC in a knife, I mean, I know if you're watching videos like these on YouTube, you probably take pride on the knives that you carry with you on a daily basis. You probably have a rotation, you probably have different knives that you use on a weekly, daily basis and whatnot. I also have a personal rotation myself with other knives that I have to EDC as well to gather some information in order to come up with review content for you guys, tell you, the good, the bad, the ugly of the different knives that go through the channel here. The top 5 list is an idea for Metal Complex. Metal Complex, in the event you're watching this video, what's up, my dude? Love your content and I look up to you in a lot of what I do with my EDC knife passion. And I saw his video on the top 5 most carried knives for the month. I'm in love with that type of a video style idea. So I figured, hey, why not share with you guys, with my audience here on my YouTube channel, the same concept, right? Sharing with you what are the 5 most carried EDC knives for last month. We're currently in July, so that means June is over. So I'll share with you some info on what last month was like. Currently, I'm EDCing a bunch of knives that I'll make a similar video towards the end of the month. Just so you guys know, there will be links in the description for every single knife in this video, or all of them are actually available right now. Check those affiliate links at no extra cost to you. They do help out the channel. And also review videos are available on all of these knives. So if you want to dive in deeper and more detail, more info about any of these knives, feel free to check the links in the description, or simply just look up the knife name Miguel EDC on the YouTube search and you'll be able to find it that way. Without further ado, let's just dive right into it. At number 5, we have the Spyderco Smuck, right? What isn't there to say about the Spyderco Smuck? This guy right here is an excellent EDC knife. There's so much great things going on with this guy. It's amazing. It's rocking a satin S30V blade and it has the compression lock from Spyderco, but very unique with the push button right there. So it's not a button lock per se, it's still the compression lock from Spyderco. It just works a little bit different with this button right here. As you can see, I mean, this is one of my favorite knives of all time. Easily top 10, no doubt about that. And this is typically the knife that I wear. This is typically the knife that is with me anytime that I'm going to a very fancy event, or I'm going to some special party, or anywhere that I'm dressing up and I want to take probably one of the fanciest knives that I have. Other times I just want to go ahead and put it in my rotation just for the heck of how fidgety this knife is. I mean, you have the flipper deployment right there. You have the thumb deployment. My favorite, the reverse flick, which always seems to shave a little bit of your fingernail in the process. That is very unique about this knife. Yeah, I mean, ever since I've had this guy, I've just been so in love with it, and it is coming in at the number 5 spot. Moving on to number 4, we have the Demco 80 20.5, and this one is the entry version with the Gravity scales there and the Stonewash Os 10A. I mean, this is my first shark lock knife. I mean, when these first came out, I was in love, and there were so many review videos that I looked up to, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna own this guy. And now that I do, and by the way, I have the clip point version as well of this knife. Having a shark lock in your rotation is just amazing. This guy is so fidgety, the way it deploys with this shark's lock mechanism here from Demco. It's amazing. You can thumb deploy this guy, reverse deploy, just deploy it with the shark's lock alone. And this guy has seen tons and tons of pocket time over the last month. I probably EDC the shark's foot blade a little bit more just because of functionality for making those utility cuts with this blade shape compared to the clip point. That's probably one of the reasons why, I EDC this one more than the other one. But I mean, at some point in the month, right, in my rotation, I gotta have my shark's lock knife. And I mean, these knives have done amazing for me. I got nothing but great things to say about these guys. And hey, if you're considering buying one of these guys, check out the review video that I did on this knife. It's an amazing knife. Some may arguably say a little bit on the pricey side, but hey, I say it's worth every single penny. And one of my favorite knives as well, hence why I have EDC'd it so much over the last month. Moving on to number 3, or on spot number 3 here, the Spyderco Para3. This guy right here, the smaller brother of the Paramilitary 2, which I've also EDC'd a lot in the past, just not this past month. The Para3 has definitely been a go-to. It is a smaller blade than the PM2, and it's just so reliable. The cuts on this guy, it is so sharp out of the box. It does rock the S45VN satin finish blade right there from Spyderco with the Spidey hole with the compression lock. and it's just an amazing little EDC for every task that you have. I do have my Para3 in the military camo here, G10 scales. So much has been said about the Para3, and there's a reason why it's a lot of people's favorites. And if you don't currently own one, you're probably considering buying one. Check out my review video where I go in more detail. But yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite knives, and it's very fidgety as well. I probably flipped open this guy so many times with the reverse flick, with the thumb deployment, with just the compression lock alone. It's insane, and it never gets old. It never gets old. I still have crazy amounts of love for my Spyderco knives, especially the Para3. That is number 3. Coming in at number 2, and you'll see here that it's not about price, it's about what knife makes it to your pocket the most during the month. And at number 2 we have the CJRB Pyrite. What an awesome little EDC knife, but man, is this thing a sweet, savage little EDC knife that I have come to fall so much in love with over the last couple of months. I cannot begin to explain. Check out the review video on this guy because I go into a lot more detail. But basically what you have going on here, you have CJRB's RPM 9 powder steel, and it has these stainless steel exposed handles, button lock of course. And this is if you haven't seen my top 5 most fidgety friendly videos, this guy's on there, and it's on there for a reason. This is the kind of knife when I'm watching a movie or a Netflix show, what have you, I'll just sit there on the couch and just play with this guy. There are so many times where I have refused to move this guy out of my rotation, and I'll just keep it on my pocket for days and days at a time because I know it is very sweet. It brings so much to the table. You got the thumb deployment right here, you have the reverse, right, you got the button of course, and I mean so many things I have to say about this guy. This video will be so much longer. That's why I have a review specifically on this knife if you want to learn more. By the way, I love the forward choke, sharpening choice right here, so I can choke on it right here, and I've made a lot of great cuts like that. Love that about the Pyrite. Used to be a flipper guy, and flippers were everything for me, and this guy didn't have one at the beginning. I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but boy was I wrong. Was I definitely completely wrong. I have not missed a flipper knife while EDCing this guy whatsoever. The deployment options that it has are plenty for me, and I can never get enough of this guy. I'm always looking forward to when it's gonna be back in my pocket. All right, that is spot number 2, and coming in at number 1, you probably saw this coming, the exo-m. This guy has been on my pocket for so long. I cannot begin to tell you how much I'm in love with this guy. This has been one of the best acquisitions of mine over the last couple of months. Ever since I got this guy in my collection, I've just been loving it so much. The exo-m, again, review on this guy also on the channel. The predecessor to this guy, the exo skeleton, brought the gravity knife with this design, a little bit of a larger knife, but it didn't have the locking mechanism, and it did not have the pocket clip. So it was a little bit more challenging to EDC. I gotta tell you, as soon as I saw that the exo-m had the locking mechanism, so that way the blade doesn't automatically deploy in your pocket, and it had a very nice and convenient pocket clip, I was sold. I picked this guy up with no hesitation, and up till this day, I have not looked back since. Just the sound alone right there is so addicting, and it never gets old for me. And as far as how sharp it is out of the box, I mean, this thing has an edge for a long time to come. It is double-sided or double-edged on this dagger config that I got. It is CPM 3V on the steel there, and everything else on the knife is titanium, which, I mean, it's one of the best qualities, finish milling going on in a knife that I've ever seen. Shout out to Riyadh for making such sweet, amazing quality knives like this exo-m. But yeah, that is my number 1 spot. I think this guy was in my pocket as a primary, definitely a higher percentage over all the other knives. All the other knives I've owned for a lot longer. This was sort of like the new toy, and yeah, it was definitely in my pocket for a long time. So there you have it right there at number 1. Again, the exo-m, which is bring them all back in frame there. We have the Pyrite, CJRB Pyrite at number 2. At number 3, we have the Spyderco Para3. Number 2, we have the Demco 8020.5, and last but not least, we have the Spyderco Smock that was at top 5. And again, I mean, I have out of all the knives that I have, which are probably around 25 to 30 or so, I mean, these are the ones that made it to my pocket the most. So you guys be the judge right there. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite from this lineup right here. Is it the Spyderco Smock? Is it the Demco 8020.5? Is it the Spyderco Para3? CJRB Pyrite, or is it that sweet Ria exo-m? That is the video, guys. Follow me on Instagram, Miguel EDC on Twitter as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of video, this new video format. Let me know in the comments what were your top 5 most EDC knives for the month. I'm curious to see what you all are EDCing out there, what type of knives are making it to your pocket the most throughout the month. So I love you guys. If you made it to the end, you guys are the real MVPs. I will be catching you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.